Welcome to Advocacy at 8. I am attorney Sandra Jill Poland, your community legal advocate. Advocacy at 8, my new YouTube legal series, launched October 1st, 2018. The legal education videos, which make up this series, will be posted daily on YouTube by 8 p.m. Each video, in 8 minutes or less, will educate you on an important legal issue. You and your community will be enlightened and empowered. Thank you for viewing Advocacy at 8. I am attorney Sandra Jill Poland, your community legal advocate. For the last couple of videos, we've been talking about the topic, dying without a will. Is it worth the cost? We've been exploring the extremely high cost and unintended consequences of not taking the time and effort of putting into place a plan for your assets. The situations we will discuss could have been avoided and money could have been distributed to beneficiaries more smoothly, more quickly, and more effectively. We're going to be continuing to talk about how James Brown's estate is still in turmoil 12 years after his death. And James Brown passed away Christmas Day 2006. And we've been talking about how even though he died with a will, his will was not updated after his last marriage, and therefore the failure to update his will has caused immense problems and serious ongoing litigation between his 6 adult children. One of his daughters just recently passed, and his last wife, and his son, who was 5 years old at the time of James Brown's death, who's now about 16 or 17, James Brown II. So not only are we talking about probate issues, but we're talking about family issues. One of them being whether this young boy was in fact the son of James Brown, whether his wife was in fact his wife, and how that impacts on his multi-million-dollar estate. And so the probate court in South Carolina and the South Carolina Appellate Court and the Supreme Court, they've been dealing with the status of James Brown's final marriage since James Brown's death. And Brown married Tommy Ray Heine in 2001. However, when she married Brown, Heine was already married to another man, Japhet Ahmed. She married him in 1997. And Heine had not divorced Ahmed before marrying James Brown, neither did she annul the marriage with Ahmed. So accordingly, under South Carolina's bigamy laws, Heine's marriage to Brown should have been invalid. So the question is, should James Brown have done some due diligence and investigated Heine's background before marrying her? It would have been prudent given his wealth, given his status, but and it probably would not have cost anywhere near the amount that this litigation going on now 12 years after his 2006 death has cost his beneficiaries and his estate. Note that before Brown married Heine in 2001, he had drafted a will that left everything to his 6 adult children. However, when he got married to Heine, he did not update his will. And that is the number one takeaway. If you're dealing with any amount of assets, even if you have a $5,000 car, even if you have $250 in the bank, even if you have furniture worth $3,000, you have assets and you worked hard to get those assets. So you should also be able to specifically declare who you want to enjoy those assets after you're gone. Please do that so that there is not confusion and other people do not get the assets or the money from those assets to try to resolve and to decide what you intended. You know what you intend. you are the best person. No one's probably going to care as much about those assets and where they go as you do. So take the time to declare your intention as to who you want to benefit from those assets.